Look, I'm trying to be the best baseball player in history, so that's going to take throwing a little harder than 66, which is why I'm starting a new series. Now, you won't be seeing consistent posts for a long time because I'm going to finish out the rest of the season. I don't think it would be fair for my teammates to give up on the year this early. However, next year, I'm 100% going to come back throwing minimum 80, and hopefully my goal is to get up to 85 by December of next year. I guess this year. I don't know how years work. Calendars are confusing. Yesterday, I pitched in a game, went 3 innings, 3 earned, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, and I was able to locate, and I had a lot of movement on my pitches. So physically, everything was working great. Mentally, there were a couple weak bleeders. Definitely had some pitches I could have gone to something else in a sequence, but overall very happy with that. Unfortunately, I did injure my throwing arm on a pitch that went above the catcher, which is why today is going to be a recovery day, unfortunately, as much as I want to throw. Now, the first step every day of this series is to log my readiness score on 4app, which I recently just did, and the score was a 0. Overall, just a mechanical day, and sort of to get this thing off the ground just a little bit. A big reason I'm doing this is not only to hold myself accountable and make sure I do it every day. I want to be some sort of role model for younger pitchers to look up to. I want them to be able to look at this. I want to be able to show what worked, what didn't, what helped me, what just put more stress on my arm. I want to be able to show, what the right workout program, how to tailor a workout program to yourself, how to fiddle around, how to develop new pitches, how to develop new velocity, how to work on the mental side of the game on its own. I want to be a resource that a lot of pitchers can be. Now, that person for me was always Trevor Bauer, but I want to be sort of someone who's taking people from 60 up to 90, and he can take it from there, So it's going to be a long journey, but I'm 100% ready to put in the work, and day 1 starts now. So my warm-up right now is actually pretty bare bones. I'm going to try to update it as I get things sort of going in this series and try to find what works best for velo, what works best for recovery, everything like that. But for right now, my goal is just to get loose, show what I'm starting with, show, some of the basic stuff that you kind of need to do. So I start with lunges, do a quick little upper body rotation. I'll try and keep my knee off the ground. Loosens up the back a little bit, so the legs a little bit into it. I do it a lot more than twice, but right now I'm just showing it on camera. I do some lateral stretches. I don't know what they're called, but I keep the toes down and then I put the toes up. Don't make an edit of that. These are some of the best because I naturally get really tight in the areas of the stretches, and this, for my sort of physical build, little quick bounds with your feet, trying to jump for both height and distance. Then I like to follow it up with some little ice skaters. And finally, if I feel some tightness in my lower back, I'll get sort of whatever this is called going. But then we go into some simple little jogging, get the hips activated, get the legs activated. I just had a full baseball practice, but I'll do this real quick. I go 20%, 50%, and then 100% with a suicide at the end. That does not mean kill yourself. Then after that, I like to do some simple little arm activation stuff. So shuffles while you get your arms loose. I don't know what it's called. Of course, all this comes after the simple little arm pulls everywhere, arm circles, simple stretches that you do at the start of a baseball practice. After that, I typically get myself a plyo ball. I don't really like this plyo ball, but all my other ones are in my school bag at school in my locker room, so this will do for now. I always start with some T-spine rotations on one knee, throwing arm knee down, and something little reach forward, rotate back, throw against the wall, backwards. I do this 20 times per side. Other side. God damn it, Roomba. This one right here will help you with staying on track, staying through the zone with your arm, and it's a pretty good warm-up drills. So I'm going to take the ball, do it on both sides, but I start with my throwing arm. Staggered stance, so right foot close to the wall, about 45-degree angle from the wall. And just a simple little holding your right arm, rear back like you're throwing, and then throw, release, and catch with your bare hand like that. This will help you just stay through the zone and get the motion of a pronation down, which is very important to pitching. So I'm going to rip out another 20 right here. Then I typically see how I'm feeling. If I need my hips to open up a little more, I'll do some drills I'll show later on. Otherwise, I go straight into these that just work on sequencing and timing of the body. The next drill I do, if everything else is working flawlessly, my hips are opening, my arm feels great, you know, my T-spine opened up, ready to go, scap retraction's working pretty well, then I typically go straight into open 45s. Open 45s is where you have your front foot pointing straight to the plate, and you have your back foot 45-degree angle from straight off the rubber, straight parallel to the rubber, and perpendicular to the rubber. So right in between at 45 degrees is why it's called an open 45, and you start in a preset position where your glove is just up on your front side, your hips are back still, and your arm is up here. If you feel your arm going a little early and you want more shoulder hip separation, you can start with it on your pec and not move your arm until your body makes you move it. But if I'm feeling good and my timing is what I am today, I always start like this. I'll show an example of the other one, but start retracted and move your hips. Just fire. And it's on, I don't even know what this is called, but same thing, you could do it this way if your arm isn't going in time. But same preset, leg up, pointed toe that way. Start your hips and move your arms. Then, if I still need it, I'll do step throughs where take my right leg, since I'm a righty, step forward, and just throw like an outfielder throwing to a base. So this one's sort of just working on getting the body moving, trying to get timing down naturally, athletically, and it looks something like this. And after that, I usually go into my delivery from the stretch. I usually only do about 5 of these with the plyo ball, and then plyo ball warms ready and done. And then I usually take one step back, do one pull down, and I'm done with that. And I always make sure I get that done before every time I throw off a mound, throw a pen, throw long toss, anything like that. I always do stretches, warm-ups, plyo ball routine. Then I do whatever I want. I throw a pen, work on whatever I want, throw a long toss, do anything that's working on throwing. And from there, I always ice. For me personally, I find these helpful, but you can always just use ice and a tutorial online to figure out how to do it. I like this company, TheraIce. You put it on your elbow, you wrap it around after you put it in the fridge, and it ices it for you. You don't have to do any work. And I also like this one, which is from Comfy Tip or something like that. But you put it on your shoulder after it's in the fridge, you ice it, same thing. But again, you don't need those. Since I'm a nerd, I have this schedule to balance my academics and athletics. That's a baseball team.